All right, Mr. Anderton wants to publish his own math textbooks. A company will do it for him if he pays $150 plus another $15 per book. And Mr. Anderton decides that it'll be worth it if he can produce books for less than $40 each. Okay, so let's go. So we know that the cost of books is going to be $150 plus $15 times the number of books that he gets. Okay, so that's the cost for all the books. So C is cost for all the books put together. But we only want to know the cost per book. So you take the price and you divide it by X. So divided by X, and that's going to be equal to 150 plus 15X divided by X. And that is the price. Let's call that P of X. Price per book. 50 plus 15x over x less than $40. Well, looks like we have a rational. Let's solve it. 150 plus 15x over x minus 40. We always just bring things to the other side. This is less than 0. Get a common denominator here. 150 plus 15x minus 40x all over x less than 0. 150. Oh, let's do this part first. So negative 25x plus 150 all over x less than 0. From there, we could just graph it, right? I know this is a linear over a linear, which means that it's going to have a horizontal asymptote. So we're going to say let y equal negative 25x plus 150 over x. So this y is like the amount more than $40 that it is, because we subtracted $40. So it's basically the amount more than $40 each price is. So negative 25 over 1 is our horizontal asymptote, the a value over the a value. So this is going to be negative 25. We know we have a 0 when negative 25x plus 150 equals 0. So that's that x is 6. Okay, I can actually, let me rewrite this equation. I'm saying negative 25x minus 6 over x is less than 0. That makes it easier. There you go. And if I do the division, I can, so it's going to be negative 25. Let me just do a little division just to kind of remind you guys how to do these things. Negative 25x plus 150 is going to be a simple division. Divided by x, you're going to get negative 25. Negative 25x, this is x plus 0, by the way. So plus 0. 150 remaining. So we could actually have written y equals negative 25 plus 150 over x. But that was actually, we could have known that anyways, but so it's going to be negative 25 as we get towards infinity, this value right here, as we get towards positive infinity, this value right here, the 150 over x, is going to get very, very small positive. As you get towards negative infinity, now that x on the bottom will be negative, so it'll be very, very small but negative. So because it's positive on the right, we're going to write, it's going to come at the asymptote from the top, and from here it's going to come the asymptote from the bottom. We also have an asymptote right at x equals 0, because the bottom value is as an x. Okay, so now we're ready to graph our whole equation. Draw this downward, and comes from up here, goes to this 6. Oops. Goes from down here, goes to this 6, and There you have it. And we want to know, when is that less or equal, or less than 0, not less than or equal. And it's less than 0. Well, over here on this side, we have x is less than 0. When x is less than 0, what are we saying? We're saying that that's negative number of books. Well, he's not going to produce a negative number of books, so this is not admissible here. So 6 or more books looks like is going to cost him less than $40. So this is where it's less than 0. That is where our answer is. We can say he will. What's the actual question asked here? How many books should he produce to make it worthwhile? Therefore, he should produce at least 6 books. Actually, does it say more then? It wants it less than $40, so 6 is not going to do. Let's go back and say not at least 6 books, but more than 6 books. More than 6 books. So now the second part of that question says, if he produces a very large number of books, how much will it cost him per book? Alright, so now we have to go back to the p of x function, which says, now we're not saying, hey, we want it to be less than 40. We're just saying, hey, how much will it be as this gets large? So we're going to say, so let's say p of a really, really big number, but let's just go p of x equals, now I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to divide it out again. So it's going to be 15x plus 150 divided by x. This is going to be 15x plus 0, 150 remaining. And so this, another way to write this would just be 15 plus 150 over x. Okay, this is an easier way to do it because then it's easy to say, hey, when we approach infinity, this part just approaches 0. And we are left with 15. Therefore, if he produces a large number of books, it will cost just slightly more than $15 each. And there you have it. Okay, guys, thanks for listening.